Alright, today we're having a look at Simple Stage by Kazuayaremon. Alright, so here we are in Simple Stage by Kazuayaremon, and, well, I mean, it's simple. Okay. That was, I don't really know what was, going on with that, so we're just gonna let it be. I don't know, I was just looking around for stuff that wasn't, kind of caught my eye. I've been actually looking for LBP 1 levels, but unfortunately, they're a little bit tricky to find. Ones that don't look like crud. But I saw this creator, and I was like, maybe this is the latest level that they've done. So, and by latest, I mean it was done in 2014. So maybe this will be the strongest of their work. It's fine. I guess. Oh, why didn't I? I could have just floated. I don't know. There was like a crummy jump. Yo, Bisco, you could just like walk off the platform. What the hell, Bisco? What the hell? Honestly though, what was going on with those jumps? That's not even on the creator. That's on me. This is it a trap gel? Oh god. Okay. It's fine. The level is fine. I mean, okay, it doesn't look great. Not every JPN stage is gonna be a winner, and this is maybe not, it's fine. There doesn't really seem to be any theme here, and does there need to be, I suppose, at the end of the day? Like, I suppose not, but the material choices are just kind of there, and it feels a little bit washed out in the color. Could you just stay on that button? Stay on the... What the hell? Thank you. Thank you. I am so sorry about my voice, by the way. It is, like, trashy. My voice is trashy. My throat is just, like, for garbage recently, and I do not know why. And I hate it. I bet those are electric, so we're not going to touch them. I'll test that in the B-roll, but, like, the controller is shaking, so I'm assuming that there's electricity going on there. I could be wrong. I quite often am, honestly. Like, choosing this stage was maybe not the best choice. Stop. Please go stop. Don't be... You're just in a mood. There's no reason to take this out on the level the creator's done. Hard work? Okay, but that sucked. Okay? Like, I think it's not unfair to say that that sucked. Like, I mean, you've got... Okay, so the grabbable bit there, and it's the same material as this stuff here, so why would this be deadly? You can't even see that bounce pad because of the camera angle. I'm feeling kind of meh about this. But we gotta go back to the hub, so we'll see you there. See yas! And we're back, and a simple stage by Kazuayaremon. And it's a orange diamond. Honestly, it's fine. It's aggressively fine, and I hate to say that because I feel like a fair amount of love has gone into making the stage, and it seemed like Kazuya was having a pretty good time making the stage, but like as a level, and it's just kind of, there's just like a lot going on. There's not really a lot to hold it together thematically or like mechanically, and it's all kind of a lot. It's mostly, what we saw in the video. It's fairly simple platforming. You've got a couple of fairly nice obstacles. There's a bit where you've got these two platforms that swing together and then swing back apart again, and those are kind of neat. It was probably one of the more challenging parts of the level. I don't know why I kept on getting killed in that first impressions video section where we first get the hero cape, and you're supposed to jump over onto a bounce pad, and it's gonna get you... This is a bit of a weird choice, but it's gonna put you onto a Tractogel, which I think is the only Tractogel in the level, and it's weird because, usually when you're dealing with the hero cape, and the kind of normal flow with that is that you get thrown onto the wall bounce you know, logic or material, and it'll bring you up, and then you'll hero cape over, because it's going off basically the same gameplay, whereas the Attractogel kind of takes you out of that gameplay. So I don't know why that choice was made. Maybe just to put Attractogel in the level. That happens a lot, and I don't fault it. But I don't know why I kept on dying there. It's not really a particularly difficult section, but I did manage to do it a number of times, so, you know, go me. But, like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this level, and none of it is really building on other points in the level. None of it's building on the mechanics of the level. And the presentation of the level is just, it's very meh. You got the camera and it's pulled back like quite far. You're seeing a lot of the world. You're seeing a lot of the level while you're running through it, and it's like there's not much to see. That material is, personally speaking, I really don't find that material to be all that visually interesting to be used at that size. Like, it just doesn't really do much for me. And considering like the lighting in it, and it all feels a little bit washed out and featureless. There's an interesting bit about maybe halfway through the level where Kazuya gives you a Segway, like the scooter type Segway, and I don't know why. It's neat, like it's fine, but like you're going through that little bit where you're riding on the Segway and the lights darken down, and you've got these little flying beasties going around you, just decorative, like they're not attacking you or anything, and you've got a couple of like spotlight, it feels like spotlight effects in the background, and like that little bit there was like, oh wow, that actually looks kind of cool. That's a nice visual presentation for this level, and it's only in that section, and I don't get why. There are so many things in this level that just kind of happen, and I don't really get why. There's a bit, like, a little bit after we wrapped up, where you've got this, like, long hall, and there's a couple of platforms high up that you want to get onto, and, like, there's a blocked off bit, and you've got to get to a switch that's going to get that bit to disappear. You know, very straightforward gameplay, like, and from the layout of that, like, you can tell where you're supposed to go, because there's really nowhere else for you to go, and that's not necessarily bad. Like, you don't necessarily have to have arrows to, like, pull this switch, because you kind of see from the flow of that segment, like, what you're supposed to be doing. But, like, the switch itself is behind this cloudy piece of glass, and you can't actually see, like, what it is you're supposed to interact with there. So I got to that section, and I just kind of had to fumble around, like, is this a button? Is this a, you know, like a player sensor that's going to trigger? And you do get a cutscene, kind of, where it pulls the camera back over to the block that you're going to get away from, but then it cuts the camera away before the block actually disappears. And the first time that I was playing that section, and I wasn't, like, really paying close attention, my attention was a little bit divided, so I didn't notice that the block had disappeared, so I hadn't realized that the switch had actually done anything. And because there wasn't a switch there, I couldn't see, like, I mean, because that wall was there, I couldn't see that the switch had actually been triggered, and it was just, like, very confused. You've got this bit later on where you've got, like, wall bounces to go up, and there's also a grabbable bit that's coming down, and it's like, I see why that happens, because you're gonna get a paint nader just thrown in for just that section, and you're gonna paint nade a block, and so that it'll fall down and hit a trigger, and you wouldn't be able to jump backwards into the wall bounce to get down. So that's why the spongy bit is there to grab onto. It's on a winch that's going to pull you up and down. But the thing is that that winch is moving even before you get the block onto the trigger. So you could just ignore the wall bounce and ride the winch up. And, like, it would have been easy to just trigger that winch so that it didn't actually move to the down position until the block till the switch had been triggered. Like, it would have been a simple way to get around that, and it would have made that section a little bit better. And I don't know, like, there's just like a lot of decisions like that. I want to kind of end on positive notes here, and it is cute, it is charming. There is a weird little secret bit in it where there's a section where you can see this. It says, I love LBP, and, you know, I heartmark LBP, and it's made out of score bubbles. And the first couple times I played through, and actually for the archive, and I just kind of noted it, like I saw that it was there, but there's no real way to get to it. It's just floating in space, and I was like, well, okay, they just made a sign out of score bubbles, and sure, why not? Like, hey, that happens sometimes. What you can actually do is there's invisible material underneath that, and you can just run out to it and grab those score bubbles for a really big a point bonus there, like a multiplier bonus. And it's like, it's weird because there's nothing that would indicate to you that you would or should do that. I was actually trying to use a bounce pad to see if I could like grab onto the ceiling and monkey bars over to that section and get it that way, and it just happened to throw me, because you can't get up high enough to actually do the monkey bars, but it ended up throwing me onto the invisible bit. I was like, oh, okay, well, like, that totally wasn't expected, but it's still kind of neat, and I still kind of appreciate it. And then you've got like the little sack things made out of score bubbles at the end to get yourself like a nice big score, and I managed to get myself up to 5th place at the end of it. But at the end of the day, like, there's not really a lot to say about this level. I didn't have necessarily a bad time with it. I think you could have fun with friends playing this level. I think it could be a fun little friend experience, but like playing it by myself, and it's not like really a lot to recommend it. It's just one of these LBP2 levels that's very much there. And you know what? Hey, maybe this is a good reset for our expectations, because I know that there was, at least for a time, a strong feeling in the community that if something was made by a J-side creator, that it was just gold. And there's a strong expectation still in the community that if something is made in LBP, that there's going to be a strong level, it's going to be a really good level. But hey, J-side creators, there's a lot of kind of mid-tier J-side creators out there, and that's fine. That's how averages work. Not everyone is going to be, top of the pops, and there's a lot of mid-tier LBP2 levels, and that's fine. Not every LBP2 level is going to be top of the pops, so this is just one of those, but it's fine. But that pretty much does it for us here at This Go About. So from me, Bisco, here in Tokyo, to all of you out there, wherever you may happen to be, thank you, arigato, sayonara, see you, and ciao.